Hi, my name is Ava Vanacore, and here's my story. I'm originally from Phoenix, Arizona, and currently I live in Cedar City, Utah, and I'm pursuing my undergraduate in psychology at Southern Utah University. Okay, so a little bit about myself. I grew up doing gymnastics. I was a competitive gymnast for over 10 years, and after that, I moved on to track because gymnastics got too much for me and I kept getting injured. So I went to track and I became a sprinter, and I genuinely miss it every single day. I've also always been very outgoing. From a very young age, I was also just never embarrassed. When I was around a bunch of people, I always could say whatever I wanted and I never felt embarrassed. I do think about what I say before I say it, obviously, but I was always just an outgoing person. And if I thought someone was pretty, I would tell them, hey, I think you're really pretty. If I thought someone had nice hair, I'd be like, hey, you have really nice hair. And I've carried that trait along with me growing up, and now I'm also just still super outgoing. I like to build people up. So I would say that's the kind of person that I am. I'm also very goal-driven, and I love achieving my goals, and I also just love challenges. I love overcoming challenges. When I was 7 years old, my parents got a divorce. And I feel like I really blamed myself for this, which is weird, but every single person does it when their parents get a divorce. I thought it was my fault because I thought I was too much. I thought it was too much for the both of them to handle. And when my parents got divorced, my dad got remarried to his current wife, and I went on with my brother to live with our mom, and she has been single ever since her and my dad got divorced. Growing up in a single parent household, it was extremely hard because I would see my friends that had parents together and they looked so happy, and I always questioned, well, why couldn't my parents do that? And I think it always made me sad, and I think that was a root of a lot of my mental health issues, but I am still working through them to this day, and I have a lot of drive to continue to overcome my mental health issues because I never want those to drag me down like they have before. I've overcome this challenge of blaming myself and overcome my mental health issues by meditating every morning. I go to therapy. I journal my thoughts down. I go to church. My faith has been a very strong thing that I have relied on, and I think God has gotten me through everything that I have gone through because I have gone through a lot in my life. But again, I have never wanted that to drag me down. And from those challenges, I think that it's really made it different in my education because my education is the one thing I'm really focusing on to be successful later in my life. I want to be successful later in my life. I want to have children of my own, and I want to be that person that they can look up to. And I also just want to look back and say, wow, I'm really proud of myself. I'm majoring in psychology, and through that bachelor's degree in psychology, I plan to go into therapy and help kids that have gone through certain situations like I have, because I feel I have that background so they can relate to me more than someone else who hasn't. I feel like I've related to my therapist because we're very alike, and I think that she's actually there to help me because she's gone through things that I've gone through, and I want to build those meaningful connections with those children when I get my doctorate. So thank you so much for listening. I really hope that you consider me for this scholarship. It would genuinely be life-changing. Again, yes, thank you for this opportunity.